Hello, hello. This is Kristina, your host today. And today is a new episode of KSM Podcast, Growing Business Online with Kristina. And I have such a pleasure to have my special guest speaker today, Deb Drummond, far away from Canada. Deb, welcome to the new episode of KSM Podcast.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. We've been looking to make this happen for so long, and I'm so excited, Kristina. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deb, for coming today. As you can see, I'm so happy. And Deb, can you share with us who you are? Introduce yourself, what you do.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've been an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I've worked for myself. I've been a pretty good boss. I've stayed with my company, which is myself. I'm going just past 30 years in the world of entrepreneurship. And so it's been a journey, as you know. Even the first couple of years of a business is a journey. But I do really two things predominantly, or what I'm known in the world for is really two things. Is one, helping entrepreneurs become platformed in the world of media. I do top performance training for many different sectors. So mostly for entrepreneurs that are super frustrated, they know they're worth more than what they're getting paid, those kind of things that are probably doing all the right things. They just need to know how to do those right things differently. That's been my study and specialty for 30 years. And I actually specialize in top performing people with media. You're in media, I'm in media. We know how powerful media and how incredibly, this positive it is. So sometimes people don't really understand how to put media into their business plan. Like what are we doing now that's going to help build their business by using media in their first, second, third quarter? Most of us are super creatives and entrepreneurs. I just happen to have like this engineering brain that loves functionality and top performance and strategic planning, and also be a creative, right? So just trying to merge those together for people and be the background. Like, we're here and we're up front, we're up front and we're doing media. But I love to be backstage and helping people get on stage and then really shine. That's really what I'm spending a lot of time doing right now, Kristina.
Yeah, and so you're so experienced, and I really like to have you today and just to share your story. How did you start, and what is actually your background? Did you work in some? This is my question for every single speaker, every single guest speaker in my podcast. Did you work in some corporate job, like as your background? Because the point is just to inspire other entrepreneurs or ladies and just to start their business if they have their business journey. And this is which is KSM podcast focus on to help.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I think the journey for everybody is very different, but I think the passion is the same. I think when you talk to someone who's been in corporate for a long time or a job for a long time or working in the family business for a long time, there was always this little inkling, right? Or maybe, or possibly, or they were dazzled with the idea, but for reasons, maybe financial reasons or functional reasons or supporting the family or taking care of themselves, that just wasn't their journey. For me, my journey was very different. For me, I was in the music industry and I really just had an epiphany. There was lots of things going on. If you know me at all, I absolutely adore music, and I still do things for the music industry today. For me, I don't know if I could breathe without putting music on every day. And so it is my love, and that love, at one point, I kind of had this bit of what I call an awakening, and I wasn't sure it was going to be the industry that was going to sustain me my whole life. I didn't know if it was the healthiest choice. I didn't know what else was out there. And so I really had this pivot in my 20s, actually, that showed me that there could be something different. So I didn't really know where it was going to go. I started exploring other things. I took courses. I took this incredible course for 6 weeks with all these. Actually, I think it was I don't know if it was supposed to be for women or all women just ended up in the class, but it was about exploring other parts of yourself. And so in there, I decided that I was going to go get a degree in women's studies, go to university, get a degree in women's studies and religious studies, and go help women create economic platforms in third world countries. This is when I was in my 20s. And through a serendipitous life, I ended up right before I went to university, I had a wanted surprise and I was pregnant with my daughter. And so that did not allow me to go do 4 years of schooling. And it literally was a flyer that I saw out of the corner of my eye when I was at this one restaurant that served sugar-free and wheat-free muffins over 30 years ago, that I grabbed this flyer, and it was a woman offering a course in holistic studies. And I was so drawn to call her, which started my world in holistic studies, which started me creating direct sales companies, which taught me how to be a formulator. And it was through understanding business straight on, live on, and then going in that direction that got me here today. I mean, the journey's been vast. I did not come from a corporate background. I came from a passion background of music. And then honestly, it was one flyer that changed the trajectory of my life.
Just imagine how it's powerful. Just have only one flyer, and that flyer changed your life. But in terms of music, what is the area of music? Did you play some instrument or sing, or just maybe for our listeners, maybe they're curious about what type of music did you prefer?
Yeah,
in
no, it
terms
was mostly establishing and working in management and helping bands and booking bands and running the club and managing nightclubs and doing everything that you would be expected to do, right? Whether it was bartending, cocktail waitressing, booking, but from a organizational, moving up the ranks in that arena, it was working like that. And then I started to volunteer in the arena of music with Amnesty International when I was 17, because they are very well supported they're the most banned music supported nonprofit organization ever. And so I started helping when bands would come to Canada, supporting whatever project those bands wanted to support. So
That's
and
fantastic.
there's been so many things in between. Like there's a number of incredible women in music in the 262 project that we just produced of books and summits. And so actually just coming up, the summit that's coming up in about 5 weeks, we have an amazing singer who's won like 25 awards for singing. She'll be singing on the summit. So I'm always supporting. I mean, just like we all do, we have a special ear or a special eye for those charities or those movements that we feel really powerful about. So yeah, no, I wasn't, I can sing, but you don't want me to sing. No, I can sing. And my daughter was sung classical music, and she was in musical theater, and my son was drums, and he was guitar before he went into fashion and art. And I used to play the organ and the ukulele and the guitar.
That's fantastic. So just if you and your management in organizational skills, just and that flyer, it's really it's pretty cool. And you are multi-skilled person. So coach, author, writer. Just continue, please.
Well, no, I think what people, the category that myself and many people fall into is an entrepreneur, where you have, like, for me, my mission is the same. Like my mission, no matter what I'm doing in terms of my day or my business, my mission to my life doesn't change. I believe that I'm very much a servant leader. Whether I was doing holistic studies, whether I'm volunteering for music, whether I'm teaching people how to use their books or speaking engagements to betterment the world, I think I really am much of a servant leader. I'm here to help people be the best that they can be in what it is they want to be, right? So I believe sustainable people are powerful people. Like if I can help you be sustainable, if it's in your business or in your life, then that gives you the ability to have choices. And that's such a powerful thing. Like I never negate the power of being able to give somebody something that allows them to be able to make different choices in their world. So I think my mission is the same. How it shows up gets a little different. I mean, I've been doing this for 32 years. So, where I started off very much in the holistic studies. And then I built 2 sales distribution companies. I formulated 300 natural products. That's one of my, it's my background, it's my study. And then I took that to market and really started to understand the cog of business. And I love the cog of business. I think business is such an amazing creative form. Like I love how this project that we're doing, it's like, it's creativity and it has actuals and tangibles and impact. So I think that no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm coaching with somebody and trying to help them get their business to a place that they are themselves really sustainable, like in flow, that's a powerful thing to do for someone. and or if I'm creating a book or helping someone get on stage so that they can share their message. So the underlying part is really much the same, but many of us are entrepreneurs. I mean, I would say you probably do 2 or 3 different things that are in the same vein, right? And so
that's so true, running from many years English teacher.
yeah.
Also, which I didn't mention many times here on my podcast, also running team for the web and graphic design marketing 14 years. And also now my KSM growing business online, coaching, podcasting, and speaking. So this is and doing many international and global projects when people. I am such a good networker and write for many magazines about digital marketing and about SEO and this is something what I started because I was so shy in front of the camera, and then my such a big mentor and speaker Kim from Australia, she encouraged me, Kristina, why don't you pop up? Why don't you pop up? It was challenge 21 day, and after that, either that English is my second language, but also through those I'm so influent, and in flow and have fluently speaking because I speak to people maybe all day sometimes, just in English, and this is my part, and I really like what I do, and this is my mission, this is my passion, this is my life, how income, whatever I say about that.
Well, yeah. And so when someone looks at you, they're like, oh my gosh, Kristina, this is, they're like, you do so many things. And it's like, yeah, but it's all a part of you. And I really feel that it's important for people to hear that, because I don't know what you were told in your generation, but in our generation, like in what I was told is like, do one thing, focus one thing's gonna, and it is true. When you focus on one thing, that one thing expands. So maybe that's your 100%, but you can focus, like, let's say someone's goal, I don't know, that everyone always talks about 6 figures. So let's say someone's goal is, I want to make $100,000 at the end of the year. Does it really matter if you made $100,000 from one thing, or you made 33.3% $1,000 from 3 different things that make you happy and make that one thing? Like, it doesn't matter. So you're not really defocusing from your ultimate goal. If my ultimate goal is to serve people, my ultimate goal is a financial number, if my ultimate goal is to have 262 people, does it really matter if it came from this passion, or this passion? Not really. So it's not like you're not focused or not clear. It means that you're actually embodying, and you're probably a creative, you're probably a creative person. So I think that's one of the blessings of being an entrepreneur, is you get to get up in the morning and choose what you do. I get to choose what I want to do. And that's very different than when you're working for someone else who allots for you what you're working for. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, sometimes it probably feels like a reprieve, but I think that if the goal, how you get to the goal, doesn't have to be one thing anymore, because I've heard that so many times from my clients. They're like, yeah, but I should just do one thing. And I'm like, you are doing one thing. If you write a book and you speak and you teach a class, that's one thing.
Yeah, for me, it's one like you, because they're really empowered people who are so skilled. And through this work, they just discover what they are so passionate, what is their passion, because they want to, as you said, they wanted to start with something or have business idea. And you can say sometimes if they do only one thing, they will just overcome it. And they're maybe it's bored for them, and they maybe are stuck to try something else. And it doesn't matter. I think that we overcome that thinking, like as you start when you were younger, in terms to do only one thing. I think that if we have skills, if we are passionate, if we have some talents, we can do it many things. This is so normal, and have met from many sources and resources, income from there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the wiser you get in your business, did I say that nicely? As we get wiser, then, and as you secure lines of income or revenue stream, as you call it, then it allows you to be able to build upon that, right? You don't start your business and go into 15 different things. They start to come to you as you start to solidify who it is, what you're doing, how the world sees you. Does things work? Do you need to change that? Right? Yeah.
And I would like that you can share about your book, or a little bit to mention about your different things and celebrities who do you work with, and some kind of what you have at the moment. And also
Yeah.
you run
So,
your podcast, so you have many, many different things, but it's only one for you.
yeah.
What
Yes, I have a podcast.
we wanted to
Thank you.
encourage listeners just to, if they have
Yes.
if they're multi-skilled, they need to start and try to figure that out and start their business. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
that is not only to be only one thing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, whatever fills your heart, right? Whatever fills your heart. So for a long time, I was one company plus, and then I added things as as you do as you're walking down the grocery store item. You're
And
like, yes,
work for yourself, not just for other people, for business owners.
yeah, I mean, there's freedom that comes with that for sure. There's allowance that comes with that for sure. And you also have unlimited opportunities, right? You are only restricted by your own self and your own mind, which is why people need to hire people like yourself and need to hire people like me, because when you have a coach behind you, people ask me, how did you get to where you are? I've been doing this for over 30 years. I've had a coach, a counselor, sometimes when I've been going through life changes, a therapist, experts I hire people to go on this journey with me. One, it's easier. Second, you can't see everything. Like, you can't see everything. And third, why wouldn't you? It's like having a business best friend, right? Like, I have some incredible people in my life that are best friends. I have men and I have women that are incredible, but they're not entrepreneurs, or they're not in my sector, or they're not on the inside of my business. So when you let someone on the inside of your business, like a coach, then they really know the decisions that you're making and how to help you in those areas, where your friends are just like, yeah, keep going, we love you, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And you're like, you need support that way. So the project that I've been working on now is ironic, because I talk about being in business for a number of years. And a number of years ago, when I was 31, I had this epiphany about putting together a planner. Now, I was in the middle of my holistic studies. I owned a private health studio. We were booked 7 days a week. I was teaching and training all about health and wellness to corporations. Getting into publication and media was not in my mind. So I was 31, and then in my 50s, that all came together. And literally, I had a dream one night. I woke up in the morning and I'm like, I need to start a podcast. I barely knew what one was. Like, I literally had never listened to one. And I was like, what? Like, what was this message? And that started my media journey. I mean, I decided to do a podcast, and I decided to do projects and summits and books to support my fellow entrepreneurs, because it was a time where media was going to be important. And so I I doubled down on diligence. I don't think I slept for 3 years, just studying and trying and testing. And I had been in media, but I'd been on the opposite side, right? I hadn't been processing it. So I started doing publications, started doing planners, and started really innovating. One of my areas of expertise is being a chief marketing officer. I've built 7 companies and I've been a CMO. In this project, I actually hired an additional CMO and her whole team, because I don't want to execute everything. I want to be part of the creative and then have someone else execute it. So the project that you're talking about, that's had a lot of celebrity acclaim, is this incredible, it's the largest International Women's Day speakership and authorship that's ever been done in the world. And I can tell you, that wasn't what we planned at the beginning. I just was putting my 9th book together, and it was a compilation of 262 self-funding women. And due to all sorts of serendipitous experiences, which I'd love to share, but it would take too long, the book started to go into process. And then a year later, I had another kind of clear divine message that I needed to get women on stages with this project. And so we did 22 summits in 15 months. And that's where all of that started to change. We had 191 million media impressions. 5,000 women came to the summits. We had women from celebrity status to people starting their business in their first 30 or 60 days. And it was an event to remind women, and it's still an event. We're now going into our next year of summits. And if people like to speak, you definitely should come and speak.
I would love to. It's going
Come
to
and
be my
speak.
pleasure, you know.
It's going to be amazing. So we're just starting that now. In 4 weeks, we're going into our next year of summits. And it's just so impactful, and we will be streaming those speaking spots on Amazon, Apple, Roku, and Hulu. So if you want to talk about really being able to stand backstage, right, and actually bring that forward, it is a project for women to remember solidarity of International Women's Day, and that we were all connected globally. And to wake up that day and feel any day that you can tap into the energy of not being alone, not doing this alone. And you know, as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of alone moments. You could pretend there's not, but there's a lot of alone moments because you are making a lot of decisions on your own. And it's you and you, like it's really you and you. And so that's why I say gather people around. Then celebrities started to come into the book, and celebrities wanted to get on stage. And now in our summits, we have 3 celebrities every summit, and then women that are, I say we're all women of consideration. You know what I mean? It's just some women are known a little more than others. So they are, so to be able to be on a summit with those women is such incredible branding for women. And then, of course, we've been vetted and asked to come to the Emmys in September to hand gift our book to celebrities and the media of the Emmys. And we've now this is going to be the first time I've announced it on air because we haven't even told everybody yet.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to share it. Thank you very much.
We'll be vetted and we'll be seen at the Oscars as well and next year. So we really have hit a level of impact, which is what I think that we all want to do when we're entrepreneurs. You know, we need to take care of ourselves and our family and our community. And then we also need to be conscious of if we can, when we can, support others around the world.
That's lovely, you know. And when you mention in terms to speakers, is it going to be that event for summit for women offline and online as well, or just speaking on the stage?
Yeah, no. So we have a live online summits, right? So women come speak online, but it's live. And we do that 8 times a year to cover all time zones. So August, November, March, obviously International Women's Day, and May. We will have 2 days of all time zones. That is all live online because we have women speaking from Kenya to Canada. And so we want to, you know, it's time zones. And then we are going to be traveling and doing 4 live on the ground events. We just did one every year. We just did Vancouver. We're on our way to Ireland next month. And then we go to the Emmys in September. And then we go to Texas in October. And then possibly New York in November. And then next year. And here's the thing. Any woman who speaks and any woman who's in the book can put their hand up and say, I'd love for you to come to my country. I'd love for you to organize and orchestrate something that we can do together that is sustainable for the project and sustainable for everyone involved.
And I would love to come here in Serbia to my country to organize something. And also that's really lovely. I love that what you do, really, you know, that's really fantastic to move global. And you mentioned also you will also give we will put all those links for information for women who will listen, and or it's only for women.
No. So here's
mixture.
the project. Okay. So the summits are open to women and those that support women. So men do come onto the summits. In terms of our sponsorship, men do sponsor the project. It's a big project, right? And it's basically people can come for free or a suggested donation of $8 and up. So, you know, we have sponsors. So men can be sponsors. We mention them. Men can come to the summits. We mention that. Men can come to the audience of the live events. It's just in the book and on the stage is predominantly self-funding women.
So we will put all information about it below this audio and video podcast.
And I suggest, and please purchase the book. Like, this is 262 women that you want to draw from. You want to hear their stories. You want to connect with them. I think for a business person, this is your directory to the coolest women that will connect with you, do business with you. They're from all over the world. If you want to build a business international, grab the book and start contacting and talking to these incredible people. So honestly, and then even just having the book and reading it yourself, because there's an inspiration that comes, and it's one page, like each woman has one page and there's a message for you. So just imagine, reading that once a week, twice a week. It's really, really
And
good.
do you have, in terms of issues, do you have only hard copy, or just for listeners, they can buy on Amazon as a digital format?
Yeah, they do. They can do ebook, they can do hard copy, and they can do soft cover copy.
So we'll share all those information
Yes.
links so that listeners can join and
and the links of the summits. I mean,
that
you can, same as the links of the next summits, that are coming. Like, absolutely, just come and join us and be part of that experience.
That's lovely. That's
really
or
lovely. If someone's listening and they want to be on stage, like, it's a 20-minute live online. Sometimes people get nervous, like, oh, I'm going to be on stage with a celebrity and what have you. It's just like we're having a conversation here. I'm talking to them, they can do interview style, and just being able to have those kind of media badges. And it's such a great, safe way, supported way to take yourself out on that global stage.
And what I would love to do is to do again a podcast with you after this event, so to share your impressions from there and what happened in the event, and just I would love to have you again very soon, in September, let's say, just to share your story about it. That will be
after the Oscars.
For our listeners.
That'll be amazing.
Yes, I promise. Yes, we will have again our call. So what I wanted to ask you is also, who are mostly your clients who do work with? As industries, or it doesn't matter, ages, and also who do support, and what is the name of your podcast?
Well, first I'll start with the easy one, Mission Accepted Podcast. It's a podcast for people, men and women, that are on a mission. They want to share something, a passion, a project, a business, a profit, a nonprofit, something that they're doing. And then every week on the show, we also have it for Gen Zs. So my son started his business at 15 and he launched at 19 and he's now 20. He will also be at the Emmys giving out his clothing line. And so we have a podcast where we invite what we call momagers and dadagers, other parents that have kids that are entrepreneurs, and we invite them onto the show. So that's the podcast. It's all about the spirit of entrepreneurship.
And people can apply on the podcast just to join your link and fill out the form. Is it for free?
You know what?
Is it podcast for free?
Yeah, so I'm a conversation, I'm not an application podcast. I like to meet people beforehand and let them know, and are we the right fit for them? And are they, does it fit our mission?
So they can schedule a call with you pre-interview call to see if they're to qualify them for that podcast.
See if it's a match. We also have group podcasts. So we have authors, we have coaches that all come together, right? We have entrepreneurs, momagers, women in finance. Like, we have different group, which is super fun and super powerful. And in terms of who I work with, it's really interesting. This is where people go, oh, so for me, what I do, because of the work that I do, and it's top performance, and I do reverse engineering, taking someone's business and breaking it out backwards so we know how to go forwards. I tend to have people that come to me that are one of two things. One is they're just at the beginning of their business and they watch other people and they're like, I don't want to wait a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Like, is there a way that I can do something that's not going to make it so long? And that's smart. I mean, people are coming into the world of entrepreneurship now and they're like, this is the long game. Entrepreneurship is the long game, but you can be rewarded quickly. So if you're going to do a business plan, or you don't want to do a business plan, you don't want to do a media plan, you don't want to do a marketing plan, you don't want to do any of that, you don't have to. I do for people what they don't want to do for themselves. Example, I have a woman who wants to be on the top of the top of the top podcasts, right? And so she contacted me and she sent me template that she was sending out to these, she was doing so many things right. She had the Excel sheet, she had the follow-up system, she showed me everything, and then she's like, I'm not getting the results. So I take something like that, I looked at what she was doing, changed it. I looked at the verbiage that she was sending out to people, changed it. And so she was doing the right thing. She just wasn't doing the right thing the right way. And then now, like, her results are completely different. And so I expert in that area. Or there's people that, like, I don't have a business plan. I'm a creative. I could care less about my third quarter. And I'm the person that says, when you've had enough pain of not hitting what you want to hit, wouldn't you rather know 6 months in your year that you're not on target? Or wouldn't you rather know 6 months in the year that what you're doing exactly is on target, and you can take a month off or 6 weeks off with your business and your income won't? So I'm the infrastructure. I'm the person that says, okay, you're worth more than what you're making, or you keep being frustrating, or you're popcorning. People that go, I'm not satisfied with what I'm making, so I'm gonna take this course, and I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna start this funnel, and I'm gonna take this, and all of those things that people do, and chasing of a result that if they simply just sit down with me and we go backwards in terms of their numbers, in terms of they don't have to popcorn, they just get really solid, and then they know what to say yes to and what to say no to, and they understand. So that's so it can come from anywhere. The other side business that I'm very niched in is the momager and dadager. So there's a lot of parents, I mean, God bless them. They have these teenagers or the 20-year-olds that want to be business owners. And for someone like myself and you, we could handle and coach that kid through. But these people are either entrepreneurs in a completely different sector. Like, that's just not how they do it. They also don't want to do TikTok, these parents, right? So you've got two different generations that are really different. In one generation, our kids are very different in terms of entrepreneurship. So it's difficult to maintain and support and then keep the family relationship. So I very much specialize in that, in helping parents that are entrepreneurs, or two, have no idea what's going on, so that they can maintain their relationship. And I can help them both get forward in a way that they both are heard. The money conversation comes in, all those things that come up. And I know, because I've had two. My daughter was when she was 15, started her first business. She eventually went into corporate, and then my son is going full game into entrepreneurship. So
that's really lovely. And before we ramp up our call today, I wanted to say that this podcast KSM is top 20 by FeedSpot in category of online business, which I'm super happy with that. First one, to share your link to your website, and also just to share with our audience that you will be a speaker on my summit with my partner from Australia, Stress to Strategic Summit, which is going to start in August 21st. So I'm super happy to have you as a speaker on the summit.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, isn't that part of it? That's the fun part, isn't it? It's like coming here on the show is fun, being able to just chill out and relax and share what we know. And so I love summits. I produce summits, you produce summits, and it's so great when we can share information and power. It's such a powerful.
And we will do some global summits, as you mentioned, from our countries, to see if we have condition to invite women. And Deb, it was lovely talking to you today. You can share, before we ramp up, how people can connect with you on social media and also via your website.
Well, I made it super easy for people. So my website is debdrummond.com, DEBDRUMMOND.com. You can go through the contact page, but easy, deb@debdrummond.com is my email, and you can go there. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook as Deborah Drummond. And I have a YouTube channel under Deb Drummond. But if you send me an email or you come through my contact site, I have 3 different Instagram accounts, so I can send you all the links depending on what you need and what you want. And honestly, on my website is a Calendly link. I have no problem meeting people. I love it. I think it's great. So we can see if there's something we can do together.
Yeah, and we connected like this online. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah. It was lovely talking to you today. I'm so excited, and you share such amazing story about super skilled woman Thank you so much. And I will see you very soon, let's say to the end of September after event. And
Absolutely. I'm excited to come back and share. I don't even know what's going to happen yet. That's the fun part,
yeah,
right? You're like, ooh, what's going to happen?
yeah. Thank you so much and
Okay.
have a lovely day. And bye for
Thank you.
now.
Bye.
Bye.